It's the Easter half term, it's the Easter holidays right
Happy
now.
Easter, everyone!
Yeah.
It's actual Easter tomorrow. Today, we are joined by Barrie from Illuminate.
We've got Barrie here to chat to us about things about Easter and some questions that you might have about Easter.
First question, I guess, is the big one. What even is Easter? What is Easter? Why do we celebrate this day?
Yeah, cool. So Easter is a Christian festival. And it's the celebration of Jesus' death, which is a bit of a weird thing to celebrate, isn't it? Which has happened on Good Friday, so that was yesterday. And tomorrow, which is Easter Sunday, which is a really exciting bit because that's the bit where Jesus is resurrected. So he dies and then he's brought back to life again on Easter Sunday, and that's the bit as Christians that we want to really celebrate.
That sounds like a very good thing to celebrate.
Yeah. What's significant about that?
Well, I mean, it's pretty significant that someone dies and comes back to life, definitely. The big thing about Jesus is that he's the Son of God. So he's a human being, but he's also completely and totally God. And he's killed on Good Friday. So he's
Bad Friday.
Kind of Bad Friday, yeah. Interesting name, Good Friday. Probably meant God's Friday, but who knows why it's called Good Friday. And he's killed by the politicians and the leaders at the time. So he's killed on the Friday, and then his coming back to life is a demonstration that he is actually who he said he was. He is God, and he's got power over everything, even over death. You know, there's that phrase in there that, you know, there's only two things in life, death and taxes, that there's things that we can't control. Well, God said, you know what, I can even control that. I can control death, and you can't stop me. You know, imagine a big kind of Hollywood movie where the hero gets everything thrown at them and they just keep getting up again and getting up again and getting up again. And it's kind of like that. You know, Jesus, whatever the world throws at him, he always comes back again. And the final thing they throw at him is death. And then he comes back to life again. And it's like, wow, that's amazing. And as Christians, we believe that not only has that happened for Jesus, but actually for us, that's going to happen for us as well. That ultimately, way in the future, probably at some point, everyone that's died that believes in God is going to come back again, and that we will live this kind of in this perfect version of the world alongside Jesus and alongside God.
I guess the next question is, why does Easter is it all about bunny rabbits and chocolate eggs? What's that about?
Well, yeah, who knows really? In the same way as why is Christmas about trees and decorations? I don't know. You know, Easter's been going around for about 2,000 years, and it's always in the springtime. And springtime has things like, you know, new life from eggs and little bunny rabbits floating around and daffodils and those kind of things. And that idea of Jesus having new life through being resurrected, being brought back to life, is kind of symbolised in all those new life things that are around Easter. And chocolate's great to eat, isn't it? So, you know, why can't we have a celebration where we eat loads of chocolate?
We've got some fancy Easter eggs, so
excited. We had to hide them from ourselves so we didn't eat them already.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I guess the next question is, Easter is on like different dates of the year. Like Christmas is always on the
25th all the time, but with Easter it's like, oh, what day is Easter this year?
It's really confusing. It moves around because Easter follows a different calendar from the rest of us. It follows the lunar calendar, which is all about the cycles of the moon, whereas the calendar we normally use follows the cycle of the sun. And the reason why it does that is because actually Jesus' death 2,000 years ago happened at a particular point in time. It happened at a Jewish festival because Jesus was a Jew and he was living in Jerusalem, the capital of Israel at the time. And it was around a really important festival in the Jewish calendar called Passover. And that festival was all about God saving people from death hundreds of years before Jesus came. So that message of God saving people from death came through in Easter. And because it's linked to that festival, we still link it to that festival. And because that festival happens on a certain point within the lunar calendar, we link it to that point in the lunar calendar even now, which does mean it's really confusing because sometimes it's in March, sometimes it's in April. Who really knows when Easter's going to be? And then that means what day's Pancake Day, and it just gets really confusing. But that's why it's done like that.
So much trouble.
I didn't know there was like 2 different calendars. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool, isn't it? So that's really interesting. That I've actually learned quite a few things about Easter, and I thought I knew a fair amount. That's great. If you guys want to find out more about Easter, do check out the Illuminate Instagram page and all the social medias. There'll be some things out about discovering Easter and those sort of things. And you might have seen Barrie about in your schools like before this, with what he does with Illuminate. Do you wanna chat a bit about
what is Illuminate? What do you do? Where can we find out more?
Yeah, so Illuminate's part of the door, and so I'm one of the other youth workers at the door. And Illuminate is a particular project which is designed specifically for young people that are Christians or that are interested in finding out more about Christianity. So we've got this vision that the Christian faith is something that can be a really positive influence on culture and our communities. And so we want to try and understand what it means to be a Christian and to follow this guy called Jesus, and how that might make a real difference in the world around us. So we do that through some groups that we run specifically for Christian young people, and then also before lockdown, and hopefully in the future, by going into schools and doing things in and around schools that help young people understand a bit more about Christian faith and why it's still relevant today. You know, this is stuff that's 2,000 years ago, and yet actually it really can make a massive difference now in the way that we live our lives and the positive stuff that we do.
Amazing. Yeah, that's really, really great.
If you guys have any more questions about Easter, Illuminate stuff, or faith things, you can find Barry's also got an Instagram at @IlluminateStroud. You can send him a message and go and follow all of his social media things, because he also does videos as well, just like us.
It's true. Well, thanks for watching, and thanks Barry for hanging out with us today. Really, really interesting stuff. And we'll see you guys
on Wednesday.
On Wednesday for a video. Who knows what it is?
We know what it is.
I don't.
I know what it is, guys.
Oh, okay. Right.
See you there to find out. Maybe you'll find out before Isak does.
It'll be great. Yeah.
It will be great. I can tell you for a fact.
That is for sure. Anyway.
See you on Wednesday. Thank you, Barry.
Thanks, Barry. See you guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.